Take calculated risks. I want to put emphasis on that. Doing it all, okay? Doing it all is not sexy anymore. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Erin, and this is Erin On Demand, a place for entrepreneurs and content creators looking to build your brand, business, and impact. And y'all, today is all about how to boss up for the year. And I did a video similarly to this last year and it really resonated, and so I figured this would be a great revival of that video just to get the year started off strong. So if you don't know who I am, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a brand strategist and social media marketer, and my business started in 2018 actually as a video production company. Over these 2 short years, I have learned so much about what it means to not just be an entrepreneur, but to really be a boss over my life. And I feel like you don't have to own your own business just to really take hold of your life and enjoy the life that you are living. And so these tips are really about how to boss up your life. Some are going to pertain to business, some are personal, and so I'm super excited to share this with y'all. My business is still a baby. I'm still learning, and you know, it's not always easy. So, you know, leveling up, it makes you uncomfortable, but that's the fun part of it. So let's get into the tips. All right, so first things first is taking risks and listening to your gut. And by risks, I really do mean calculated risks. I don't think that it's smart to just be impulsive as an entrepreneur, especially as you're transitioning into entrepreneurship. It's very important to actually assess the entire scope of the situation before making a risky decision. So if the risk makes sense, then jump into it. It's still a risk. But if it is not very rational, I really encourage you, before you take it, to look at the entire situation and really write down like why this risk makes sense and why this risk doesn't make sense. And then write down all of the possible outcomes of taking that risk. And that's really gonna help you make more of a calculated risk, create more of a strategy into the risk, so that way when you take it, you really take it. I find that when people take impulsive risks, they still have a lot of fear bottled up. They still have a lot of anxiety inside. And so when they do take the risk, it doesn't always play out the way that you expected it to, because you're carrying all of this weight into the risk. So when you do take the leap, whether that be into entrepreneurship, or if you're rebranding or deciding on someone to hire or whatever it is, like really assess the entire situation and figure out what's the worst possible outcome and the best possible outcome, and evaluate if you are willing for both of those things to pan out. The second thing is to connect with people and prioritize relationship building. And this is something that I'm really going to work on this year. I find that when you are a solo entrepreneur, you can kind of get into the trenches and you're working on your business, and everything you're doing is for the growth of your business. But sometimes we can underestimate the power of, you know, blocking off an hour or so every other week to reach out to people and to see how we can support them in their businesses, and to see how maybe we can collaborate. And that is something that I have not done enough of, and that's something that I'm bringing into 2021 as a goal of mine, to really work on collaboration. The third thing is to take time to take care of yourself. It can get really hard as an entrepreneur. Like, just the journey of entrepreneurship is not easy. It can be very mentally taxing, just constantly trying to figure out solutions and put out fires and figure out what to do next with your business, how to grow and expand, you know, how to hire, how to delegate. And, you know, it's not that it's like just this extremely hard in a negative sense, but it can be mentally taxing. And so taking that time to just breathe and give yourself the opportunity to not be the boss at all times, and just be you, and whatever it is that you have to do to pour back into yourself, that is something that needs to be regularly done. And again, you guys, I'm preaching to the choir because these are all things that I am working to do for this year. Last year was a pretty big year for Erin On Demand, and I didn't really get a whole lot of time on top of everything that's going on in the world. I didn't really get a lot of quality personal time. And so this year, I'm really working on figuring out, what does that even mean to me? Like, what do I actually need to stay fueled up? Is that working out, or is that spending time with my family, or is that reading or journaling, or what does that look like for me? And I think once you can kind of come to that and have that sense of self in terms of what gets you back calibrated, practicing that very frequently. And so this year, I challenge you to take that time for yourself. I'm not saying like scrolling on Instagram or watching your favorite show, but like really looking at who you are and what it takes for you to get that push to keep going. The fourth thing is prioritizing tasks. I think prioritization is one of the things that makes people who are bosses really good bosses, because they can really assess like what is important right now. Like, you may have 5 things to do today, but what is the most important thing that you need to get done today? That's why I love the top 3 method, which you guys have seen me do over the past couple of years. I just launched the top 3 notebook not too long ago, and the idea of prioritizing the 3 things that you need to get done the most for the day takes the pressure off of having so much to do in one short day. And it just takes the pressure off of feeling like you didn't get a lot done if you didn't get all 12 things on your to-do list done. So I find that prioritization is more important than having a whole bunch of stuff to do and feeling like, you checked all of these things off, but like, did you really get the thing that was the top priority that should have been done? And I have been doing this for years, and it has really helped my business scale. It has helped my channel grow, and just knowing and practicing prioritizing has helped me to really be able to even delegate more and figure out, what can I pass off to people? What is important for me to actually be doing? And that leads me to my next point, which is delegating. So this year, y'all, we are not doing it all right? We are not doing that. And to delegate, you do not have to be making 4, 5, 6 figures a month. You just need to first be able to identify what needs to be delegated, okay? And once you can figure that out, start crafting some roles around the things that need to be delegated. So if you are someone who is really like, you have this business and you know you need to be creating more social media content, maybe you find a social media assistant who specializes in photography. And so they can go out and take pictures with you, but they can also double and do some of the posting for you. But when you know what you need to be delegating, then you can start to create roles around those tasks, essentially. So I would highly recommend, even if you aren't seeing a whole lot of cash flow in your business, you can delegate by hiring a VA or an intern or someone who can take some of the load off of you, just so you can also start figuring out the proper ways to delegate, how to train your team, how to really work with someone and trust someone with your work, because there is that level of trust that you have to start building, which can be tough when you're so used to doing everything on your own. So delegating is one of the things, y'all. We are not doing it all, okay? Doing it all is not sexy anymore. So we need to start passing some of those things off and trusting the people that we hire to do it. There are also a lot of resources that you can use to help you in delegating, like Fiverr, like Upwork. There are tons of different resources, and also just Facebook groups. I have a Facebook group, the eBrand Club, that a lot of my members barter services inside of. So that's also a way to be able to delegate without paying a whole lot of money. All right, the next thing to do to boss up this year is to start incorporating more video content into your business. Now, y'all, we are in doggone 2021. I really need you to start doing some video, boo. This is the year that you really need to hit hard with video. I say this every single year because every year you could have started, and if you didn't, you need to start now. Video is the most powerful way to get people engaged with your brand, with your message, and to convert them into paying customers or clients. It is the fastest way to build know, like, trust factor and get them into your business's ecosystem. So start creating video content. You can do something small as Instagram stories or Instagram reels, to quick little tips on Facebook or on Instagram feed. Anything where you can really get engaged and share valuable content through video with your audience is essential this year for your business and for your social media strategy. Next thing you need to do to boss up is implement focused work. You know, this is tough, but I am getting better at doing more focused work, even if it's for 1 hour in a day where I'm just locked into my work. I just find that a lot of time we do not focus strong enough. We have so many distractions, from our phones to computers to now our families being in the house with us all at the same time. But if there is a way that you can bury yourself, whether it's for 30 minutes or 3 hours, where you have no distractions and you can actually get into a flow. A lot of us never experience what it is like to go through real flow, like mental flow, where you are locked into a task and your brain is just flowing on ideas, and it is flowing with like productivity to get the task done. And if you never allow yourself to get into an isolated or secluded state where you are able to be focused without any distractions, it's very hard to get a lot done in a short amount of time. So one way, I did a video, I'll pop the thumbnail here, where I talked about working 4 hours a day for 1 week. I did this trial where I could only work for 4 hours a day. And when I limited myself to an amount of time that I had of working hours, I really got into my workflow like a lot faster than I typically do, without having that mental cue that I'm like only able to work 4 hours a day. So if you can start to train your body to not be working all these long hours, y'all, we are not trying to be entrepreneurs to work forever, like throughout the whole day and throughout the whole night, and not get sleep and not, you know, enjoy time with our families and friends. So I challenge you to learn how to implement focused work into your work days, and start small. Like, don't try to work without any distractions for 4 hours straight. Just don't, because it will be a challenge. But try to work for 30 minutes without distractions. You can set a timer on your phone and just say, for 30 minutes, I am not going to pick my phone up. I'm not going to answer any calls or any emails or do anything that are frivolous tasks that make me feel productive but are actually not pushing me toward the goal. If you can do that for 30 minutes and build on that every day by 10 or 15 minutes until you can really start experiencing flow for a long time, then that is what you need to do, okay? So this year, to boss up, we are channeling a deeper level of concentration and workflow. The next thing is to address fears and to really be vulnerable with yourself on the fears that you have and why you have those fears. And I've talked about this in other videos, but it's just so important to acknowledge what could potentially be holding you back. Whether that be you are nervous to have someone's life depending on you, and that's why you aren't hiring anyone. That was my fear for quite a while, and it's still kind of a fear because I don't have any full-time employees yet. And so addressing those things and figuring out like, okay, why? And then figuring out how can I combat this fear? Like what action steps can I take to increase my revenue consistently so that I don't have this fear anymore? So those are things that we have to really start addressing. If you are scared to quit your job, or if you're scared to launch your new product or your new service, really think about why you are scared and what that fear is rooted in. So that way, once you address it, it almost releases it from you. And then start thinking about the action steps that you can take to move past that fear. Okay, so this leads perfectly into the next thing that we are doing to boss up this year, which is to have more faith. I think that faith is such a big part of entrepreneurship and just being a boss over your life that not enough people share. And to just believe, whether you believe in God or whatever your belief is, like honestly, truly believing that you can do it and having that faith to carry you through those hard times, that in itself also can help alleviate us from so many fears and just help us to be content with who we are, where we are, and what our plans are to move forward. The next tip is being a part of a community that is going to be supportive of you as you are leveling up, bossing up, starting your business, expanding your business, growing your social media, whatever it is that you are trying to do to boss up and level up. Get around people who are like-minded, because the last thing you need is to be around some folks who do not believe in you and who are not there to speak life into you, to help nurture your goals, to help push you toward your vision, to help support you, to help call out your flaws or your weaknesses, to help you be better. Like, you need honest, good, solid people around you, and that can be hard to come by. I started my eBrand club about a year and a half ago for that very reason, because so many entrepreneurs and content creators were reaching out saying like, I need support. Like, my family is not supportive of this. My friends don't understand, and I need somewhere to go. And so the eBrand Club is a safe space for entrepreneurs to express concerns, to ask questions, and we do weekly live lessons on building your brand, building your business. We bring some awesome masterclass speakers in who just share a wealth of information. So if you are an entrepreneur, a side hustler, or a content creator who is looking for a community of support, but also a lot of resources and a lot of knowledge, from our Q&As to our lessons to our social media audits, we really pack the club with a lot of great information, but really the best part is the community. So if that is something that you are interested in, the eBrand Club information will be linked down below. We do have temporary enrollment periods, so it will not always be open for enrollment, but on the website, there will either be a wait list, or if enrollment is open, you can go on there and enroll and join the club. So that is for anyone who really wants to be a part of a group of supportive entrepreneurs who are all leveling up and are ready to take charge of their lives and just, boss up. Okay, so those are how we are bossing up in 2021. These are things I'm doing, and I really hope that you join along with me to do the same. Y'all, it is going to be a heck of a year. I'm so excited. And if you enjoyed this video, please turn on your notifications. I always upload on this channel about entrepreneurship. I do a lot of day in the life of an entrepreneur videos, and also branding and business videos from my experiences as an entrepreneur. So I would love to have you a part of the fam. If that sounds like your jam, all you got to do is subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.